Yeah. As Rafael said, my name is Manzoor Khan. I am working as Senior Advisor in the Directorate of Integration and Diversity, Norway. So mainly I will present the Jobbsjansen program, which I have been following for the last 6 years. My presentation contains a brief information about main actors and responsibilities in the Central Immigration and Integration Administration in Norway. Then I will give you a few facts about immigrants in Norway, and lastly tell you about the job opportunity program, which we have a very, very good results. The main actors and responsibilities regarding immigration, administration, and integration work in Norway. Firstly, we have a Directorate of Immigration that we call UDI. It is under the Ministry of Justice and Public Security. So UDI is the central agency in immigration administration in Norway. And then we have the Directorate of Integration and Diversity, where I am working. It is under the Ministry of Labour and Social Inclusion. So we implement the integration policy in Norway, and we are the ministry's expert agency. Then we have many municipalities in Norway. We have 356 municipalities who get the grants from the government for the integration work. So they have a lot of other programs. The aim of the integration policy in Norway is firstly settlement of refugees as soon as possible after they arrive in Norway. Then integration of refugees and other immigrants into the labor market and into the society. Settlement of refugees takes place either through IMDi finding a suitable settlement municipality or refugees themselves contacting potential municipalities. Before the war in Ukraine, most refugees settle in municipality with the help of Directorate of Integration. However, it is still possible that if some refugees have work and residence permit and they can provide for themselves, so they can settle in the municipality which they likes. The Directorate of Integration, as I said, is responsible for implementing Norwegian integration policy under the jurisdiction of Ministry of Labour and Social Inclusion. We have 220 employees, and we have our budget 261.5 million kroner. But we use a lot of money. We have a budget approximately 16 billion Norwegian crowns that we give as grants to the municipalities in Norway. As I said, we have 356 municipalities, so they have to do the main work about the integration. So they get a lot of money from the government. The main tasks of my directorate is settlement of refugees in Norwegian municipalities as soon as possible, and then we acquire knowledge of integration and provide input to policy making for the politicians, We guide municipalities in their work with the introduction program. We administrate financial grants to municipalities and voluntary organizations. And then we have the job opportunity program. I will give you information about later on. We also coordinate work against negative social control, forced marriages, and genital mutilation. So it's also a problem somewhat with the women. So there is a lot of work going on this. And moreover, we are national authority for supervising interpreting services in public sectors. We make a lot of grants to the universities for different courses in this respect. Here are some facts and figures about the immigrant population in Norway. We have 5.4 million population in Norway. And if I include Norwegian born with immigrant parents, so then we have approximately 1 million immigrant population in Norway. So it makes approximately 19% of the whole population. So here are some big groups. So as you see here, the Polish people are the biggest group in Norway. So these statistics are before the war in Ukraine, but we have approximately 33,000 refugees from the Ukraine. So then the other groups are from Lithuania, Sweden, Syria, Somalia, Germany, and so on. So approximately between 30 and 40,000 persons in these groups. It is interesting to see the employment. So 68.8% of population was employed in 2021, fourth quarter. So it's not including the immigrants. If we look at immigrant employment, then we have 65.1% of immigrants were employed in 2021. The difference is about 4%, between the majority and the immigrants. If we look at employment in women, so we have 66.5% of Norwegian women employed. And 61.7% of immigrant women were employed. So the difference here is about 5%. Before I give you information about Jobbsjansen, so I will just give you some information of other programs. So we have introduction program. It is the biggest program, qualification programs, mainly for the refugees and newcomers, new immigrants in Norway. And then we have a qualification program, which we call KVP in our language, for registered and unemployed Norwegian and immigrants. So it's both for the Norwegians and for the immigrants. And then we have the job opportunity program, Jobbsjansen, for stay-at-home immigrant women. And lastly, we have different local schemes for unemployed persons run by municipalities in collaboration with the Norwegian Labour and Welfare Administration Authority. The job opportunity program is actually a grant scheme for municipalities managed by the Directorate of Integration and Diversity. The program is a result of well-documented pilot scheme called New Chance, which we started in 2005. The main goal for Jobbsjansen is to increase employment among stay-at-home women who are far from labor market and who need the necessary skills. It is voluntary for municipalities to establish job opportunity programs, and they receive, upon application, grants for the establishment of Jobbsjansen projects. As I said, that target group for Jobbsjansen is stay-at-home immigrant women between the age of 18 and 55 years, who are supported economically by their spouses or other family members, and after several years in Norway, they have no permanent connection to working life. The government's objective is that a minimum of 70% of all participants be employed or get into the education. By education, I mean formal education, intermediate school or higher education, university or high school. The main components in Jobbsjansen are, firstly, the program lasts for 2 years and can be extended up to 4 years if participants have special needs. For instance, if they don't have any education from their homeland, then they can get up to 4 years. We pay economic benefit to the participants, approximately 111,000 kroners per year, approximately 9,200 crowns every month. It is a full-time program, and which is the thing which is very important and giving us good results is that it is individually tailored program. So if there are 10 participants in one project, so they don't have the same programs. Every participant have its own program, individually made program. The other components are Norwegian language tuition, because most of the participants they need more language tuition. We provide with career counseling to every participant, and early placement in job training is very central in Jobbsjansen, because as your minister said today, that you learn language when you are at job, you know. So it's a very important component of Jobbsjansen to place the participant in training as soon as possible. We take different measures to acquire skills to enter the Norwegian labor market. We take measures that make it possible to start or complete a vocational education. So in some cases we help them to get intermediate education or education or special courses that can lead to the intermediate education, and also in some cases vocational education and courses. It is also possible to work part-time during the program, but the program should be a full week program, 37.5 hours every week. As far as the number of projects is concerned, so in the state budget of the current fiscal year, so we have 101.2 million kroners for Jobbsjansen granted in the budget. At the start of the year, we had 46 projects running in 33 municipalities all over the country. Some municipalities have more than one project. For instance, Oslo is the biggest city and capital in Norway, and a bigger immigrant population, so they have 11 projects running in Oslo. We have approximately 1,200 participants in these projects. Yeah, excuse me. Yeah. Most of the projects are organized by local Norwegian Labor and Welfare Administration in municipality, and some cases in Education Authority, and in some few cases in local refugee services. Yeah. Most projects have well-established cooperation with internal and external partners. As you see here, the results are very good. In the last 3 years, we had more than 70% transition, direct transition to work or education, after they are completing the program. So in last year, we have the best results, 79% transition direct after they complete the program. And then you ask me why we are getting so good results. So here are some methods and success factors. Actually, in 2019, we carried out a big evaluation of Jobbsjansen, which points out that the following elements can contribute to good results. So this report is in Norwegian, but you can get it. It is on our website also, the evaluation of Jobbsjansen. So they point out that thorough mapping of participants is very important before they start the program. And it's important to have an individual qualification program for each participant. It's important to have a holistic approach to the participants' qualification needs because they have different needs. They have different backgrounds. And we take formal education as part of the program if it is required. We have also many courses, industry-directed courses. And as I mentioned before, early placement in job training is very, very important in Jobbsjansen. And I think it's in the many evaluation reports, it's mentioned that it helps to get the job. The other methods are that projects allocate sufficient resources for follow-up participants who are in the program, and when they finish the program, then we have a follow-up of participants for 1 year after. Projects set aside sufficient resources for the procurement of internships. They have good cooperation with the employers in training and qualification. It's important to have follow-up of employers also, not only the participants, but also the employers. And good cooperation with employers is very, very important. And anchoring the work with the management in the municipality is also important. And good cooperation between different municipal agencies is also important. The biggest qualification program in Norway, it's an introduction program, which is running approximately in every municipality, because every municipality have the immigrants. But we see that the difference between results in Jobbsjansen and integration programs is about 20 to 20%, 25%, and it's a big difference, So we have looked at that, and we have newly had an evaluation of that, a report which has seen why there are these differences. The report points out that the possibilities are that newly arrived refugees have a rapid start into the introduction program, which means that there is still a lot of life cleaning left, So they have to think a lot about, they are not fully settled. But on the other hand, the stay-at-home immigrant women start Jobbsjansen after living here for many years. So thus they have better knowledge of society, and most of them have little bit knowledge of, it varies, but some have a very good knowledge of language also. And we see also that many of them have secondary school or higher education from their homeland. Compared to, yeah. The motivation factor in Jobbsjansen is better because participation is voluntary, while the introduction program is compulsory for newly arrived refugees. Project organization and smaller size of projects makes Jobbsjansen more flexible than introduction program, because it's Jobbsjansen programs, they varies also, but the most of them have 20 or 30 participants. In comparisons, introduction program have 50 or 60 or maybe 100 in some municipalities participants. So it is also the factor. And we think also the application process to get Jobbsjansen fundings makes the projects better designed, because municipalities have to compete for the funds. So they have to make an application and compete for that. Not everyone get the funding. Then the question is why Jobbsjansen is special in Norwegian context. Jobbsjansen helps stay-at-home immigrant women who are not prioritized by the local Norwegian Labour and Welfare Administration because they are basically self-sufficient economically, as they are supported by their spouses or other family members. So Jobbsjansen contributes to reducing social differences in society. It's a good measure of gender equality because it gives the women their own money. They get out and integrate in the society. It prevents child poverty, but child poverty is also a problem in Norway, especially in immigrants. It provides many new taxpayers to the society. So that's what I had. So thank you for your attention.